Hey, it's Dave, the Camo Pants Hiker. There's my camo pants for today. Still wearing the shorts because it's been warm. Went up to about 80 yesterday, but it looks like a change is in the wind. Just wanted to get another couple shots of the beautiful fall foliage. This is Lake Thoreau. Before you can see the ominous dark clouds and the breezes coming in from the west, signaling a change in the weather. As I'm heading on down a little network of trails. It's about 11 something in the morning on the 29th of October, a Wednesday, and just thought I'd do a little video here for you. I wanted to get a walk in before the rain comes, so I've got probably half an hour or so from the way the sky looks, maybe less, who knows. So we'll see if we can't get a little walk in before the rain comes in. At least there's a nice view of the, this is one of the better views where you can actually see the changing leaves. And I'll see if I can use the zoom on this camera and zoom in on that, and you can take a good look at the pretty colors over there. That's about as pretty as it gets. You know, we're going to get some wind this afternoon, and then some cold weather, and then, you know, a nice big bluster will come through and blow most of those leaves out of the tree. So I'd imagine within a week or so it's going to look a little more like winter around here. So I'll let you have a look. Woo, 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 woo. There we go. Woo, how's that? Oh. Farewell to the shorts. The farewell to the shorts edition of Reston Hike for 2014. You never know. I think we'll probably have some warm weather. We always do in November. You know. But you always say, is this going to be the last day for the shorts? Well, who the hell knows? Probably not. In fact, there's often a day in December or a couple days in January you can kick out the shorts. It isn't too brutally cold. But, yeah. We're kind of out of shorts weather. Yesterday was nice, and I do like the warm weather. Yeah, I really do. And you know, I like winter up until the end of the year. I do like usually winter in this part of the country, in the Mid-Atlantic of the United States of America, second best country in the world, second only to the Netherlands. There's a pretty shot of some trees with color on them. You know, the Mid-Atlantic. We usually have, usually in the winter, in through November, December is usually pretty nice. You know, get those first really cold days, you get a little snowfall here and there. And maybe some cold snap in December, but it's not too bad. There you go. There's some nice yellow trees. As we look at the woods in here, see some nice reds. And still a good amount of green. A whole mix. It's a mix. Wonder what's up with that. Somebody has painted red handprints up that tree. I don't know. That's kind of freaky looking. Wonder is that a gang mark of some sort? I don't know. Oh, there's a yellow tree. Look at that one. That's a bright yellow. Very pretty tree back in there. Yeah. as we scan around and we head through the tunnel, the dark tunnel. We come out in another universe where everything is backwards. Do you remember there was a movie like that? What is it called? Journey to the Far Side of the Sun or something like that back in the 60s, where some guy goes up into space and he comes back on a different planet Earth where like everything is backwards. Apparently there was a theory that there was like another Earth that was exactly opposite our Earth on the other side of the sun, so we could never see it. There's a that's now that's yellow. We could never see it, but it was another whole twin Earth over there on the other side of the sun. We could never see it because it was always on the other side of the sun. And back then you couldn't see what was on the other side of the sun. But he ended up coming back on that Earth, and it was like everything was the same, except, I don't know, it was weird. It was like everything was backwards or something. I don't know. Dog waste. Oh, here's our public service announcement. Dog waste transmits disease. It's the law. Anyway, I was going to do a couple dirt trails today, but then I looked at the sky over there and noticed it was kind of dark, and I didn't want to get stuck back in a lengthy labyrinth of dirt trails and having it start to rain or something, you know, and who knows. It doesn't look like it's going to rain in the next few minutes or so, but you never know. Worse yet, you get hit with a big gust front or something like that, and you end up with you know, a whole bunch of trees. And you know, the worst thing this time of the year is those acorns. They blow out of the oak trees, and they can really whack you on the head. That's rather shocking, especially if you have a bald head or a shaved head. I'm Dave the slave. Dave the slave with the shaved head. I'm your slave. I'm your media slave. Whatever you want me to do, I will do. But yeah, it's really pretty. I think even yet prettier than yesterday, just one day. I don't know, maybe it's the dark clouds in the sky making the colors a little more pungent than they were yesterday. But I was walking around yesterday shooting some vid, and I said, it looks okay. It's pretty, but not wow pretty. And today we're close to that wow pretty. So anyhow, we're on the other side of the Lake Thoreau Dam here, which you just walked on the, we walked on the, what is it, the west side. Now we're on the east side of the lake side, the Lake Thoreau Dam. You know, they say, walk on the wild side. Remember Lou Reed? Walk on the wild side. So this is the wild side of the Lake Thoreau Dam. Hey baby, take a walk on the wild side. You know, they don't play that enough on WBig. You should play that at least once an hour. It's an interesting way to live. Heading down the stairs here, and there's the dam. The wind's kicking up. Rather pretty, I think, don't you think? It's a very pretty morning here, but it kind of signals the cooler weather to come. In fact, the capital weather weenies over there at Washington Post, they just love to hype the weather. Are saying, oh, we could get some snow flurries on Saturday. Oh, it might be a snow flurry. And there we go. There's this is Lake Audubon on the south side of the lake, or the downside of the Lake Thoreau Dam. And it's also very pretty. Purdy. we go, some more pretty leaf colors. For this time of the year. I'm trying to hold the camera as steady as possible because some people complain you bounce around too much when you walk. Well, I don't have an expensive camera with expensive gyroscope induced video image stabilization. There we go. There's a nice shot of a nice little stream valley and a nice little bridgey poo. See these big townhouses over here? These are luxurious. I mean, they're like 5-level, $1 million, $900,000 townhomes. This is where Surf lived, in one of these. Remember Surf? Don Caldwell, I think his name is. Used to be here. He still is known as Surf. He's a longtime rock and roll DJ for the Washington market. He worked on DC 101. He's worked on, remember the Arrow, the Globe. He's worked at HFS. All over the place. Anyway, he used to live in one of these big, fancy, schmancy houses, and I used to see him all the time walking this very path. I'd be walking along, and there would be Surf. Hey, Surf. His beautiful wife. I don't know how old Surf is, but he sure looked pretty young. I mean, for somebody who was an adult back in the 70s, he's got how old he is today. But then he moved away, left the area. I think he moved up to Reston Town Center. And that's where Dan Mason lives. Maybe he and Dan Mason share an apartment. I don't know. Dan Mason is the president of CBS Radio, and I met Dan Mason once in the Safeway here. I was walking through the Safeway one day, and somebody calls and says, "Hey, Dave." And I turn around, and there's a guy, and I said, "I recognize you." And he goes, "I'm Dan Mason, president of CBS Radio." Dan Mason used to be on PGC, WPGC as a DJ. I packed pictures of him with his kind of long hair back in the late 70s, early 80s, back when Don Geronimo worked there, and a whole bunch of cool people. But anyhow, so he's now the president of CBS Radio, and of course Surf is his neighbor up there at Reston Town Center, one of those luxury condos. But Surf must have done okay in the radio biz. They saved up his money all those years, and now he seems to be, there's a thing called Eco Planet Radio on the internet. I've listened to that many times. It's very nice. And but I don't see Surf much anymore now that he's not living in the neighborhood. Now that he's moved to a better neighborhood. And there's some canoes. That's nice coloring there. Very pretty colors. I'll stop and stabilize that so maybe I can make an image out of that. And that's also very pretty over here. Some canoes. Canoe? Canoe? But speaking of these fancy schmancy condos, these aren't condos, these are townhomes, but they are like 5 levels and they have elevators in them. I mean, they're almost a little too big for, you know, it's a very pretty, it just looks like almost like a big prison block with them all kind of beigey colored. It's like prison for the rich. In a weird way, maybe they are. In order to afford these big condos, maybe people have to take out lots and lots of debt and are imprisoned in their mortgages. But yeah, whatever. That's a talk for another day. As we continue to walk along what side is this? The west side of Lake Audubon. And admire some of the pretty colors on the 29th of October 2014 in the year of our Lord, Bill Lord. Some boats here. A lot of people that live along these lakes have these little boats, and they go out in the summertime and have little parties on them. Now you see those townhomes on the other side of the lake. They're very nice, but they're not quite as gaudy as those townhomes. You know, they're a little more restrained and a little more. Oh, there we go. my houseboat. And here we got some nice splotch of color in here. This is really pretty now. Look at that. These are really pretty. There's some more canoes. Again, a very nice picture there of some canoes. I should make a card out of that. A greeting card. Happy fall. That's really pretty. Wow. And we've got some nice coloring in here now. This is really pretty as we're going along the west side of Lake Audubon. Lake Audubon is nice in the sense that there's a good chunk of the lake, the whole northern edge of the lake, you can actually walk directly along the lake. A lot of Reston's lakes, you can walk around them, but you can't actually walk right up on the lake because that's private property. But in this little area, the whole north side of Lake Audubon is a trail, and it's a very pretty area to walk. And we'll take a look at the dam from where we just came. I'll walk out on this little private dock. Hope the police don't come and arrest me. I'm just going to take a picture real quick. There's the lake. There's the dam. Looking up the, let's see if we can use the zoom function on the camera here. We'll press the button. There we go. Zoomy, zoomy. And look at the pretty colors. It is, you know, a lot of people say, it's just colors, it's just leaves, but, you know, if you don't stop and look at the pretty colors now and then, you can't enjoy life, right? But anyhow, very pretty. The camera almost blew out of my hand there. As we look down, that's the south shore of the lake, and looking around to the west side here. So yeah, very pretty, some very pretty colors in here. And yeah, still some green in the trees. And we just passed a fisher dude there. And I was thinking, look at that old man fishing. And he did have kind of a little beard. But you know what? He's probably younger than I am. But I'm remarkably well preserved. There we go. That's a pretty shot. Now that's pretty. That's over by the Twin Branches Nature Trail. That's the walk I often do, and I've done a few of these. And you can go over there. That is really pretty. And there we go. There's some nice coloring over there. And that is that's the Lake Audubon Dam, by the way. So there we go. That's really pretty. And then we got some nice colors over in here. Do 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 do. So yeah, baby. Yeah. Still not raining. I was expecting it to start coming down, but that front doesn't look like it's on a highway to hell fast course, so we look pretty good. A beautiful morning for a walk. A nice breeze, probably gusting around 20 miles an hour here. Still kind of warm. I'd say the temperature's probably in the 60s, upper 60s. You know, they say it's supposed to get chilly tonight with that front coming through, so we'll see. Here's the boat ramp. And this is also where, when they have the Reston Triathlon, this is where the swimmers enter the water. So you could actually drive your car if you wanted to, literally drive your car right into the water here. See if it floats. We should do that sometime. Somebody want to bring their car along here, and we'll see if it floats. Remember those amphibi cars or whatever? The amphibicars. I remember seeing those when I was a kid at the New York World's Fair back in 64, 65. Those cars where you could literally drive your car into the water and it turned into a boat. And you could then the wheels would like tuck up under it, and then this little propeller would come out of the back, and you could then And they would do that. There was a bay there right by the, I remember that was like the wave of the future, that in a couple years everyone's going to have an amphibicar. And that we would all be driving, we'd be driving to work down the river in our amphibicars. Anyway, some more pretty colors over here along the road. This is Twin Branches Road. As we just passed a runner. Again, this isn't really a natural trail here. It's a road, but it's still very pretty along it. As I'm doing a circle, kind of coming back around. But I just wanted to get a nice little walk in this morning. And I'm glad to have some company. I used to, I like taking walks with other people and chatting. But, but I also enjoy taking walks by myself. There's a certain soul cleansing aspect I get out of doing that. There's a pretty yellery tree in there. Oops, don't want to get a finger in front of the lens there. That's not good. As we look up the road, some more very pretty stuff. Oh, there's a nice little red tree. Very pretty. Is that an old, looks like an oak of some sort. I don't know my trees. I know what a maple looks like. I know what a locust looks like. I know what an oak looks like. Holly tree. I know what poison ivy looks like. But I don't know. The pine tree. There's a holly tree. Okay, that looks like poison ivy down there. Those little three-leaved things. I wonder, I guess that you can still get the oil on your skin even when they're in the fall. I don't know, can you? Can you get poison ivy in the fall? I guess you could, as long as the leaves have those little oil on them, right? Itchy oil. Now we're at Lake Audubon Court. As we cross over the road, hope we don't get run over. And there's a nice look down the road at this beautiful fall day. And a look up the road at this beautiful fall day. Woo, 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 woo. Earthquake! Earthquake! Oh no, kidding. Remember, there used to be a radio station called The Quake, KQAK, out in San Francisco. Really cool station back in the 80s. I remember listening to them when I went out to a broadcasting convention out there. I know they're long gone, but I always liked that station, The Quake, KQAK. That was cool. They used to have a real cool station in San Francisco called The City, KKCY. Liked them a lot. A lot of cool stations out there. I don't know if that, I'm sure that one's gone. That's the Spanish Mexican station. But why am I talking about radio memories? I was talking to my friend Jonathan down in Australia today. I do a weekly podcast with him. We talk on Wednesdays and he uploads it on Fridays. Listen to that. It's at sadlylackingpodbean.com. He's a Washington area guy who moved down to Australia, lives in Sydney of all places. What a miserable place to live. I can't. He doesn't like. I guess he likes it, but he says the radio down there is really horrible. But anyhow, he's down in Sydney, and he misses DC radio. I don't know why. I think he misses the old days of DC radio, as we all do. But he calls every Wednesday, and we chat for a half an hour. And then he puts it up on Friday. So go there, sadlylackingradio.podbean.com or something. Or go on my website. I always link to it. My Twitter page, DCRTV, or Twitter at twitter.com/DCRTV. Or my Facebook page, facebook.com/DCRTV. There's a pretty yellow tree. That's cool. Some nice leafies here. So we all talk about how much better DC radio used to be and what's wrong with it. But anyhow, in Australia, of course, the seasons are reversed. So they're now ending their spring and going into summer, or getting hotter and hotter. So they're entering summer and the days are getting longer. So it's kind of interesting. Christmas comes in the early summer down there. It's just kind of weird. But Sydney, it never really gets that cold, even in the winter. It's like 60 degrees. It's not a real, it's more of a kind of a Mediterranean climate, I would think. But I'd love to go to Sydney. Maybe I'll go stay with him. I don't know. Maybe he's got an extra bed. I'll go down there. And someone wants to buy me some airfare to Sydney and back. Or maybe just a one-way ticket and I'll just stay there. And I'll do DCRTV from there. Or I'll just change it to Sydney SRTV.com. Sydney Radio and Television. That'd be fine. I'm sure Sydney's got some cool stations. It can't be any worse than Washington Radio. Anyway, we're back to my condo complex of Villa Ridge. And if you see the crane on the horizon over there, that's over by the metro station. That's right. That's that new building they're building at the metro station. I haven't really noticed that before, but if you can see that crane there. Yeah. That's cool. So that's how far I got to walk to get to the metro. It's just over that building, which is about half a mile away, maybe 3/4 of a mile. I timed it the other day. It's almost exactly a 21-minute walk to walk over to the Wheelie Avenue Metro. And those clouds are still staying in that western sky. They haven't really progressed much, so I thought they would move eastward and be over us by now. I wanted to go out and take my walk, so I would at least get a walk in before the rains hit. It doesn't look like heavy rains, but that's what I wanted to do as we approach South Lakes Village Center here in Reston. And that's my building right there. That's where I live. Been there 9+ years. It's very nice. Nice place to live. As they say, the shopping center's right there. There's an underground passageway to get there, so you don't even have to cross the road. And you got everything. You got a CVS, a Safeway, an ABC store, a couple good restaurants, Subway, Starbucks, where I hold court every afternoon from 4 to 6, just about. Me and my weirdo Starbucks friends. Sunoco Station. There's a place called Cafe Sano. It's a Mediterranean restaurant. Really nice place. Highly recommend it. Really good food there. Although you'd think for a Greek-inspired Mediterranean restaurant they'd have gyros. They don't. I love gyros. If you want a good gyro, go to Plaka Grill down there on Lawyers Road near 123 in Vienna, Virginia. Best damn gyros I think I've ever had. Really good. It's right there across from the Money and King Funeral Home down there by Church Street. Then when you're done, you go take a little walk down Church Street, all the little hoity-toity shops. It's a very pretty area, but Plaka Grill's great. And if you go there, go early. They open at 11. Get there right at 11 because that place fills up really fast. There's not a lot of seating. And if you get there at, say, noonish, the line will be long and there will be nowhere to sit. So you'll have to just do takeout or go eat in your car. But I like it. I'm walking around my condo complex now. I'll give you a shot of some of the trees. Some pretty trees around here. Just to fill out this little video, make it a good 40-45 minutes. Yeah, Villa Ridge is very nice. I like it a lot. It's condo complex, okay? And a lot of condo complexes you see kind of the central staircase, kind of that kind of thing. This is not. Everybody's got an outside entrance, and almost all the entrances, not all, but almost all are on the ground floor. And it's just a really pretty area. It's an interesting place. There are, let's see, a number of 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom models. Then the majority of them are 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom models like mine. And then there are also some 2-bed, 2-bath models, which are very nice. I would have liked to have got one of those, but that would be nice if you wanted a roommate or somebody to live with you. Then you'd have to share a bathroom. But I've taken my 2nd bedroom and turned it into a den. I should do a tour of my place on this with this new camera one of these days, and perhaps I will. So anyhow, as I'm doing a little circle around the condo complex here, on as I say, a very beautiful. It's getting more. It's almost now cloudy. It used to. We started out kind of in the sun, or maybe still have the dark clouds over there to the west. I'm heading east now, but I thought by now it'd be raining. But you never know. That front is just poking through. And I'm going to go home and have me some lunch because I is hungry. Smell fertilizer. They must have come through with the fertilizer. The grounds guys came through this morning. Fertilizer. There's my car. As you know, I have the infamous DCR TV license plate. I'm going to get seen a lot. It's a 2006 VW Rabbit, which is also called a Golf, but is branded the Rabbit. Here's something I wanted to show you before I finish my beautiful video today. This is a Verizon box. This is the old landline phone. This is not the DSL. This is not the Fios. This is the old-fashioned phone. But look at the box. Look at the quality of that box. Look at what condition that box is in. Isn't that something? I guess they just don't care about. I still have an old copper landline phone. Pay $50 a month for it, but that's how the equipment looks. Although I don't think that's the box serving my individual unit. So I think I'm probably in pretty good shape. For the moment anyway. Yes, next thing to go is ditch the landline, but I'm certainly not going to get Comcast's phone service. I do not want to give Comcast one dime more than I have to. Alright folks, so we're coming back to my condo. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me on this walk, looking at the beautiful fall foliage. Adios amigos.